Good morning, my lovely little ghosts, and welcome to the Dark Orchard. I'm Laura, and this is a Motionless and White video. As I said in my intro, this is a Motionless and White video. More specifically, I'm going to be creating a Motionless and White fan art. So, this is the fan art. It is Chris with a pumpkin underneath his skin, and the skin is kind of stapled back. There is the artist, and it says, "Below my disguise there is a creature that you would not like to see." So that is the art that I'm going to attempt to recreate in this video, minus the red contact because my eyes are too small for contacts. At least, so far they are. But I promise I'll edit a photo where the eye is red, just so you can see it that way. The second I saw this art, I was like blown away by how cool it looked. And upon further inspection, there are other artists that have done this makeup look before, or a similar design to this, but it was not Chris Motionless with the pumpkin. I really liked the addition of Chris into this design. Like, it just fits. Dead Ahead 2 was one of my favorite songs from the Disguise album, and I just love it. I love the idea of like Headless Horseman pumpkin theming, and the last time I saw them in concert, they did have a bunch of pumpkins on the stage, so I loved the incorporation, and I love that the disguise is actually the pumpkin face. So, because it's almost Vlogoween time, and I really loved this design, I thought what better way to kickstart the season than to try to do a Chris Motionless pumpkin inspired look inspired by this artist. And once again, I am going to link their Instagram in the description so you can check out that picture and give it a like. So without further delay, let's get started. The first step is to draw out the design that I want to do for where the pumpkin face is going to sit versus my face. I battled with myself on what I was going to do for this part. If I was going to use liquid latex, if I was going to use scar wax, or if I was going to use just makeup in general. I think I'm going to use just makeup. I may use a light layer of latex, but I can't find my scar wax, so scar wax is out of the question. But the other two, I might play around with. So to do that, I think I'm going to use... I've pulled out my cream paints, which is a mistake. But I think I'm going to use a brown. This is the Wet n Wild's neutral paint palette, and I think I'm going to use this really dark brown to just like etch out the outline, and I'm using cream paints because they're easily smudged away if I don't like where I placed the line. And then should be coated. Where'd my mirror go? So looking at the drawing, goes, I'm going to reverse it, actually. I'm going to go through the messed up eyebrow and leave the nice eyebrow out. So I'm going to do reverse of what the picture looks like. So, starting with going straight through the eyebrow. I wonder if I can leave that open right there. I should be able to. Okay. And then it sort of swoops down and under the eye. But I want to leave enough room under the eye so that I can add the makeup under that eye as well. Alrighty, so now that I look like Doc Bitten from Supernatural, let's keep going. Did I wash my body paintbrush? Maybe. Oh, there it is. I'm going to be using a Maroon Paradise Aqua Paint in the color orange. No fancy name for this one, just orange. And you're all going to be so proud of me. I have a cup to put a little bit of water in so that I don't pour water directly on my color. Proud of me? You should be proud of me. Eat a bit of water. If I spill on me, because I've got it on the very edge right here. On purpose, so that I don't spill it on anything else, especially like electronics. And orange. I'm very excited. I don't think I've ever used a bright color from them before. Oh my goodness, did you see the Made You Look body paints? I really want to use some of those. They're water activated as well, and they just look like so much fun to use. I feel like they would go on like a cream paint, like smooth, but they're water activated, which is my favorite. I'm a little afraid of alcohol activated anything, and I know I shouldn't be because that's like the better one to do, but I'm just a little afraid of it, so water activated is just great. Alrighty, here we go. You can't see that at all. It looks really pretty, I promise. Oh, I love it. I should have known I would like the color. Like, I've liked all of their paints so far. So I mentioned earlier that I went to a Motionless in White concert. I never told you ghosts about that. Like, I may have tweeted about it, but I never actually told you about the concert or how it went. And that's because the concert itself, I had a few bad experiences, but it was not at fault of Motionless in White. It was more circumstantial, more their opening band. It was just a lot of bad occurrences. I didn't really feel like bad-mouthing that specific band just because I had one bad experience. Because the band in question, I've had a lot of good experiences with. And, you know, you gotta take a second sometimes and think, will this do more damage than good? And I just felt like it would. So, I really, really, really want to do a Motionless in White headliner. And I actually, pre-pandemic, why is my eye so itchy? Before the pandemic, I actually did have tickets, VIP tickets to a Motionless in White show. And I was so excited. Like, extremely excited. And then the pandemic happened. I'd never gotten VIP for a Motionless in White show before. So, I was really hype. And, with VIP comes me making things. And I've already got the jacket drawn out. I know exactly what I want to make. And I even have some of the fabric for it. So whenever concerts are a thing again, and that show happens, hopefully the VIP will still stand, because I think as of now you could have chosen to keep your VIP or not. I think that's how that one went. I get that one and the Black Veil show confused because they were both about the same time making their decisions. But I think you could have chosen for them to hold on to your VIP, and I think that's what I did. Because it's so hard to get Motionless in White VIP. But anyway, when that show does eventually come back around, if it's still valid and if I do still have VIP, I really, 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 really want to make this jacket. I think it's going to be one of my best yet. I think it's going to be top tier, on par with like the first Black Veil coat or the Ghost of Ohio dress. I think it's going to be right up there with it. So now I'm pumpkin-y. I'm going to let this dry before I put another layer on. No, that's my contour brush. that's my painting brush. Oh, guess I'm washing brushes. I'm gonna see if this needs a second coat. I don't think it really does, but I'm gonna go back over it anyway. Alrighty, all oranged up. So now I find the lid to this. Here we go. Now I think I'm gonna paint the pumpkin details, and to do that, I'm actually gonna be using my Wet n Wild paint pot in black, and hope it works. So let's do the nose first. The nose is sort of a... This is the part where it doesn't come out completely exact because theirs is awesome and I'm really bad at like knowing what's what. But I'm gonna try. So it's like fire. First it swoops under the nose. So yow. And I think next I'm going to do the lines of the pumpkin. So for that, I'm also going to go back in and use the brown from the Neutrals Paint Pot palette. And then I'm going to do the lines of the pumpkin. Alrighty. So now we go back in with the black cream paints and we do the eye and the mouth. Okay, I think I'm going to do the eye first and then the mouth last. So for the pumpkin eye, I'm just going to cover the whole lid in black and make it a darker black than the black I already had. And then I'm going to round out the eye. Now that I've created an eye socket, let's expand it just a little bit. And now I'm just going to kind of draw lines through it because there's just really jagged lines. And actually, I think I'm going to change into a narrower brush. I feel like Pumpkin Chris has a much larger eye socket than I do. But I think we've run into this problem before. So now on to the mouth. I'm going to make the basic shape and then I'm going to go in and do the lines just like I did with the eye. Alright, now I'm going to go in and create the lines. I'm actually going to do the black from the Palais Royale palette and go over the eye just so it looks a little better. So for the pulled skin effect, I think instead of going into latex and everything, I'm going to go into the Neutrals paint pot again and use this second brown. Yes, I'm using a paintbrush, don't judge me. And for the second brown, I'm going to just do the shading and see how it looks. You want it to kind of look like the skin is pulled up this way. So you want to just create wrinkles. And it creates that wrinkle. And then I'm going to do a light shadow down the side of the nose because the artist did. And then right under the eye, they have more wrinkles and shading. I'm actually also going to go over my lips with the Shady Witch Wet n Wild. That looks better. It's a little darker. Okay, now I'm going to switch over to this eye and do the makeup on that eye. Black eyeshadow. I'm using the Palette Royale palette because it's my new favorite black. Making this eye very dark. Now I'm going to go under it and tightline it with some shadow. Then I'm going to use the black paint pot to create the same eyeshadow look that Chris has here. Just like that. And I'm going to make the eyebrow black. Now I'm going to line my eye. Now I'm going to do my lashes on this eye, and I'm going to be using the Wonderland mascara. Why do I feel like Darth Maul? It's weird. Like, it's not in any way, but for some reason, especially when I smile, I feel like Darth Maul. And then lastly, I'm going to draw the staples, the little staples that go in the head. To do that, I've totally run out of narrow brushes. Use this. I'm going to use the paintbrush because it's a darker color. And so to do the staples, I'm going to be using NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the color white. And I am drawing the two lines. And then I'm going to go back over them with Medusa's Makeup Pressed Powder in the shade Whatever. And this is where I'm going to use this paintbrush, saturate it, and go in. And then the very last final touch, a little white on the edge of the nose to look like the reflection that was drawn on the nose. And there we have it. So this is the finished product. This is me recreating a Motionless in White inspired art, and I really hope you guys love it. I was just really excited to recreate this when I saw the picture, and I kind of wish I could have found my scar wax to do the skin pull part, but I think it turned out okay, and at least I used makeups that are readily available and super cheap. I mean, it's Wet n Wild, so you can easily recreate this look, probably better. It's not exact, it's not at all exact to what the artist created, but I tried my absolute best and I'm actually very proud of it. I'm going to take a few pictures, and as promised, I will edit them to make the blacks darker, to make the colors more saturated, and most importantly, to change this eye so that it's red instead of an eye. So that's what I'm about to go do. I'll pop those pictures in now. And I'll also post those pictures at the end of this video during the credits so you can see them again. So for the comments down below, I want you to tell me what your favorite Motionless in White song is. I don't think I've done that one yet, so yes, tell me what your favorite Motionless in White song is. And if you don't talk to me about that, talk to me about something, because I just love for you guys to talk to me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you come around again soon. Say bye. Bye!